you know nobody's in here, do you start and say like, hey guys, and do an introduction, or do you wait for people to get in?
I think I kind of just say generally like hello, because there is people here, it just doesn't show it yet.
Well, no, there's not. So there might be, but also think about it when people re-watch later, the video just kind of starts with us like joking around, right? And there's no introduction. I've noticed Jamie on her Timeout Tuesdays, she'll always say like, hey y'all, exactly in the beginning, you know, because she knows people are gonna rewatch it later. But I feel weird doing that because I know that there's nobody there, you know. Call me crazy.
I just had a notification, Levy.
You just got the notification?
So maybe there is nobody in here, so maybe they're gonna start joining right this second.
Wow. Okay, so I love my new haircut.
Yep.
But this one piece of hair is not long enough yet.
No, thank you.
Okay, y'all have a great
night. Thank you. Have a blessed night. Bye-bye.
But this one hair is like killing me. Oh, the people that don't like it when I eat are gonna be mad. I'm just gonna eat like 1 or 2 to make my tummy feel better.
You know what you like, Levy. I'll talk while you're eating.
I'm not even gonna talk. I'll read comments while I eat, but people think it's distasteful.
Why don't you just put on basketball for them to listen to?
Hi guys. All right, I can finally say hello. Sorry if the camera's shaking. Sorry if there's not good service. We're in the car. I'm gonna be drinking, and I'm gonna be eating just a little bit because we were just at Walmart getting things for tonight's dinner. I know it's already late and tomorrow's dinner, but I forgot to eat today. That's something I forget to do. I just not hungry and I forget to eat. And of course I hydrate, but like I really do, don't I? I just forget to eat.
Yeah,
and so he got me some McDonald's french fries that I can munch on. So I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 of them just to make sure. I've got the shakes, so don't mind me. We've got him driving.
Oh.
If you don't like me eating, just please go ahead and hop off now. I'm going to delete your comment. And I am gonna chew with my mouth closed. There's my bit. But I wanted to come on and talk about what happened earlier. And if you saw my video today, I uploaded it late because of things that happened today. So earlier I tried to go live. I did not realize, one, I was going live right in the middle of when Stephanie, Buddy and Steph at the Denman Homestead, and then when Lester and Jamie do the Sanctuary Sunday live. I did not realize that. And then, because I was going to film for y'all us deworming. I hope you got something to go with your fries. No, I didn't, Vanessa, because I am going home and I'm cooking us a Chili's copycat of the Cajun chicken pasta. But I'm going to do it with tortellini and sausage instead. So I'm still cooking tonight. We cook super late. That's just kind of how it goes. And I have a cooking video that I can post for y'all tomorrow that I'm super proud of if y'all want to see it. So let me know. Sidetracked. The ADHD is working today, huh? But I was going to video us worming the goats because if you saw in my video today, if you haven't, that's totally okay. I intended to go outside and show y'all in depth my baby birds. And I'm really excited about them because they've all started to grow out. I can tell you their breeds now because they don't all look the same anymore. There's a few of them that really love me, and I just wanted to showcase some of the silly things they have been doing because they're not old enough to go with the big birds yet, but they still do some funny things. And I just wanted to show y'all. But in the middle of that, I guess I went over to see the goats or something. And I noticed that Dill had scours, and it was pretty bad. It's not the worst scours I've ever seen. It's like a day 1 scours kind of thing. And I don't know why he has scours. I have a few theories. Watch out.
There's a kitty crossing the road. That's not
Is
good.
it a cat? It's moving so slow. He always honks at animals.
If it has a chance to save their life, they need to know that crossing the road in cars is not good.
Yeah.
Cats are pretty good about that, but dogs usually aren't. So if me honking can save their life, then it's worth it.
Yeah, so, he always honks at them. I'm sorry, I thought you were going the wrong way, and so I was about to have to, like, figure that out, but you're going the right way, don't worry. So I was going to show y'all that, because 2 weeks ago, before we went to Disney, we treated our herd, because, y'all know it flooded. If y'all don't know about the flood, you must be new, and hi, welcome. The flood was pretty horrible, and we have not had enough rains to fully wash all the bacteria and yucky stuff off the ground, but we also can't stop the goats from eating off the ground. So how do you prevent that or treat it? You do a safeguard worming treatment, maybe earlier than you might have, just a preventative treatment. Has Ellie pulled out his lightsaber yet? He has not pulled it out since we've gotten home. We haven't fully unpacked since we've gotten home. We're slow unpackers. We'll get there one day. Don't worry. I will make him do a video for you on it. So, that said, I was like, okay, Thursday was when we were supposed to do the treatment again, but it has been so hot. We're just like, we'll push it to the weekend. And so today we saw that, and in the middle of my video, you could probably hear the panic where I quickly switched, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and treat Dill tonight. We're going to treat the whole herd. We got everybody except the bearded lady. That's going to have to happen a different day. But she doesn't have any symptoms, so it's okay. And somebody just asked me in the comments on the videos, and I thought it was an interesting question. I guess I never thought about it, but the lady said, are you going to separate Dill? And I thought about it. I was like, I guess I didn't explain why I wasn't going to separate Dill, because I assume that if one has it, they probably all have it. So you treat the mass.
I don't think it always goes like that.
This was just a scenario where we also had to do the follow-up treatment. You do a treatment, and then 14 days later, you follow up. So we were at our follow-up treatment, so it was just like, let's treat them, you know? So I wasn't going to separate him because I knew we were going to treat everybody else. He's eating fine, acting fine, except for the nastiness that is coming out of his back end. That's pretty awful. But he's okay for right now, and we'll see tomorrow if it clears up. If not, we will, at the 24-hour mark, which will be 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, we'll see about what we do next and try to get a vet appointment if it hasn't cleared up. But I'm sure it will. It normally does. And I don't think it's coccidia. Could it be hookworms? Yes, because I know Breeze Goats has hookworms. People have been telling me that. So it could be in the ground. Or it could just be regular worms. I don't know if Safeguard treats hookworms. If it doesn't, that will have to be a vet appointment. But that's easy with goats to get a vet appointment. So I'm not worried about that. But he's okay. He took his medicine really well. And I wanted to do a live for that for y'all, because it's hard to video. But if I can set my phone down somewhere and do a live, that would have been great. But I then realized that I have a chart for all the medicines you give goats typically, like your most common. So like Safeguard, the coccidia treatments. There's like 5 to 6 meds that are most commonly used. I have those. The vet gave, Dr. Cochran actually gave it to us. She printed it out, and so I took a screenshot of it, and it has the medicine name, and then on this side it has the weight of the goats, and then it correlates to their weight to their dosage. And so I have that on my phone because I don't we have goats. Some goats right now weigh less than 20 pounds, and old mama, bearded lady, easily 120. Easily.
I don't think she weighs that much. I think she's big, but
I think she weighs more than you think she does.
Maybe she does.
I dose her for about 100 to 110. And I always dose a little bit higher on Safeguard because they're going to spit it out because they don't like the taste of it. But they also... Safeguard has a really... it's Safeguard. It's called Safeguard for a reason. It's really...
It guards them very safely. It's very fail-safe.
No, you don't overdose.
Yeah, it's fail-safe, so there's almost nothing that can go wrong with it.
I'll look at it, Teresa. Did I say something about me cooking the other day?
Probably. I don't know. I just know you've been excited about it, so you've been talking about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I have been really excited about my cooking. It's been really fun. I've learned a lot. For adult hookworms, I'll look that up. Walter and Hero grew like weeds. I can't believe how big they are. I think, let me tell you, how much did we dose Walter at today?
It's 3.3, 3.4.
I'm surprised you remember that number. I meant his weight. 65. I think we...
No, because we did Hero at 70.
That's what I mean. when I say like the 65 range, I really mean 60 to like 70.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do anywhere between those numbers
He
because
estimated that Hero was 70 and Walter's probably like 80 or something.
probably. So I probably, honestly, with those with Safeguard, you will dose. If it says 60 pounds, this is not the exact, but I'm gonna give. It's pretty close. They'll say 60 pounds is like 3.0, 3 cc's, 3 milliliters. But then if you go up to 65, it'll be like 3.2 cc's. So do you see how it's like not like, and then if you go up to 70, it'll probably be like 3.4 cc's. So it's very close together. So that's why I say when I dose between like 60 and 70 pounds or 70 to 80 pounds.
Oh, I see.
Because you're never going to get it exactly perfect, especially if you're using a big syringe. It's just things you learn. There are some that you have to be pretty exact with. Corid, I'm pretty exact with. Because Corid is really harsh on their stomach, and Corid is used to treat for coccidia. So I do not think what Dill has is coccidia. Coccidia scours often has blood in it. And so, and like digested blood and stuff, and so you can kind of discern the two. And they also, when they've got coccidia, they're not normally acting normal. Ivermectin, yeah, ivermectin is good too. Right now we're on Safeguard because Safeguard and ivermectin are two medicines that treat the same thing. They treat worms, but they're both chemical wormers, and this is coming from the vet and just also goat knowledge, if you didn't know this. But just like humans, we build up a resistance to antibiotics. And so while wormers are not antibiotics, goats build up a resistance to those chemical wormers. And I prefer to use chemical wormers. I know you prefer to use chemical wormers.
I didn't say that. It just
it's easier.
That's kind of what you prefer, and I was just kind of. That's one of those things where it's like, I'm indifferent about it. So that's what you think. Then yeah, let's go.
Well,
with
no, I'm talking about chemical wormers in relation.
That's a Pyrenees.
Oh my gosh, you scared me.
Sorry.
It was a Pyrenees. I'm talking about chemical wormers in relation to like the feed-based food that the feed-based wormers that Pawpaw uses.
I mean, if the feed wormer is effective, then to me there's no reason not to.
But how can you gauge that they get exactly how much they're supposed to? With how our goats eat, with how many we have.
Well, we'd have to feed them differently. We have to separate them.
And so I think it would be a lot harder, and you have to do it more often.
I think it would be fed in like 17 bowls, but had them like really, really, really spaced out. There'd be less.
Maybe.
Or say we did something. So we would close them in one pasture, and then we'd have the 17 bowls very spaced out, and then we'd fill all the bowls, and then we'd let them into that pasture, and so one would get one, and then one would go find another. I would think for the most part.
So to me, that's a lot more work, and I would worry about did they get their full dosage? There's also stuff you can put in waters. I tend not to do that unless I'm doing it for chickens, just because.
But you know what? I guess now that I'm thinking about it, now you're probably right. That is a lot easier. Just what we did, because it wasn't very hard today. We just
took what, 20 minutes max?
Yeah, and we weren't sweating, and we weren't like.
Oh,
exhausted.
I was sweating.
Well, we weren't doing anything running or anything crazy. I think you were sweating just because it was so hot out there. So that part's challenging, but you have to be outside anyways.
Yeah.
It wasn't laborious at all.
No.
What we did today. We just walked around, strolled along, literally just getting them, putting it in their mouth, and then going on to the next. And you have to do it less often because it's chemical. It's more potent.
Exactly. It's easier.
So maybe you are right. Maybe that is better.
It does have its drawbacks though, because they will gain resistance to those, and so it's kind of like there are also natural dewormers. I've thought about doing them before. I reached out to a lady before me and Ellie met, and she did this natural dewormer, and she made like the equivalent of like a protein ball, but she did it with the natural dewormer in it. But the thing about that is you have to give, depending on how big your goat is, and they like them. I will say they like them, but you have to do it every week on the dot, and you don't ever get a break from it. You're always doing every week, or maybe it's every 2 weeks. And we have a lot of goats, and the majority of our goats are Boer size, and so they're 50 pounds and up. So that would be a lot for me and him to just constantly be cooking. we don't have enough freezer space to do it because you have to freeze them. It's just a lot. So we've definitely looked into a lot of things, but chemical wormer right now is what works for us, even though they can develop
I think we should
resistance.
Why don't we just drill into the ground and like kill every single worm that there is in the ground, and you don't have to worry about it again.
Yeah. Because that would work.
It reminds me of, like, my dad used to always tell me that it was funny. He would teach elementary school that the kids would come up, because they're so innocent in their mind, they'd come up with the most ridiculous, unrealistic answers. So, like, an example
is exactly that.
My dad would do, like, what if scenarios. So, like, what would you do if, you know, electricity went out across the city or whatever, and like
I would turn the power back on.
It wasn't safe here. They'd say something like I would turn the power back on, or if there was like a nuclear disaster in Houston or like in the world, what would you do? They'd be like, well, I would just take a rocket ship and go to the moon. It's like great. So where's your rocket fuel? Where's your rocket? How do you make a rocket? And so no, I just tease Megan and give her a hard time. But then I was like, we just drill in the ground, we kill all the worms.
Like, yeah, you know, that would work. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, turmeric, cayenne pepper, clove, pumpkin seeds, those are all great things, natural dewormers. I used to give it to my chicken, natural antibiotics. But y'all, we are getting close back to the sanctuary. I know it's unrelated, but have you seen your dad's new hair? Question mark?
I think he did a video with a wig or something like that.
Okay. But yeah, you're about to lose us, and I don't want y'all to have to worry about reconnecting and all that. But that's just kind of a little update on Dill if you're confused about what went on in the video. And then if you saw that I did a live, I had to end it. I wasn't able to do it. So that's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to give y'all an update. Felt like you deserved it. We're really about to lose service. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a great night. I am going to film me cooking our dinner, and I'll catch y'all next time with another one. Bye, friends!